What's going on, everybody? Retzilla here. Today we're going to tackle some survival tips for the long dark. Some things the game doesn't even tell you, but may save your life, at least in game. Let's check it out. And stay tuned till the end for probably the most important tip of all. Alright, one match to create them all. Fires, that is. So in the long dark, especially in the higher difficulties, matches and all other resources are extremely rare. Sometimes you may only have a couple matches to last you for hours, even days, in-game days. When you've created a fire, you want to make sure to utilize that one match and then grab some torches, plan out your route to your next destination, and use those torches to create that next fire. This will save you a lot of matches and maybe your life. Fire is life in this game. When hunting big game such as bears and moose especially, you want to make sure to utilize the quartering mechanic. This allows for the ability to quickly transport large animals' resources, including meats, their hide and their guts, to a safer, probably warmer indoor location for further processing. And this is very important because, as you all know, the long dark weather can be very, very unpredictable. Not only that, once you have hunted the prey, and now that also causes an attraction to other predators, including wolves and bears. It will, the scent will be, it will attract them, and they could potentially attack you during the harvesting process. So you want to make sure to quarter your game. It also saves quite a bit of time compared to just harvesting outright, simply because quartering, it only takes about 2 hours, I believe. I believe harvesting, just depending on the amount of meat and what you're gathering, it can take a lot longer, which is a detriment to not only calories but temperature as well, thirst, as well as other wildlife. As you can see on here, coming up in not even a couple of minutes, quartering, and the weather turns from bad to worse. Let's check it out. If by chance you are stuck in this weather while quartering, your conditions could go down significantly. Speaking of temperatures, there is absolutely a best time to travel in the long dark. And as you may have guessed, it is not when it is dark. It is also not, at dawn, at the very early morning, nor is it at dusk, where it's just about to be, nighttime. Simply because the temperatures during during those hours is going to be more elevated. As you can see on the bottom left there, the temperature gauge, the temperature status, there's 3 arrows pulling it down, and even in just minutes, your temperature could go all the way into the red, and thus start taking away from your life. You want to make sure to travel during the midday when the sun is high. Obviously, that's when the warmth is going to be highest as well, especially in the beginning stages of the game where you have no gear, no furs on your back, and you are more susceptible to that hypothermia as well as that frostbite. Alright, 2 schools of thought when it comes to food and hunger in the long dark. There is the starvation cycle, which is, the goal is to stay just above 0% condition, just so that it doesn't go into the red and start decreasing your health. And you just eat as much as you absolutely need to survive, which I completely understand. There's the other school of thought. By the way, the starvation cycle, you have to eat 1 large meal before you bed down or go to sleep, just to avoid dying in your sleep from starvation, and then sleep at full calories to recover condition, more efficiently. Having said that, there is also the weight management school of thought, which is before traveling or even before gathering items for the day, you want to make sure to eat your calories. Just to avoid having to carry it in your backpack, you want to make sure to have your hunger and your thirst all the way up, so that you don't have to bring the cans and gallons of water and coffee and all of that. So two schools of thoughts when it comes to that. And what I'm doing here is, obviously, I'm filling myself up when it comes to calorie wise, and then leaving the rest in storage outside my main camp. And this is mainly before I gotta go out and go for a hunt, or gather more supplies or resources. Another quick tip here, let's make this a twofer. As you can notice on here, I have my food and my water just stored up outside the house, outside my camp, and using the outdoors as a natural refrigerator. I believe that only counts for harvested meat, but I also I like things neat, and just want to keep all of my food, and the reason why you want to keep it outdoors as a natural refrigerator is to preserve it. I believe outside the camp, where the temperature is obviously colder, the food does degrade a lot slower. As promised, one of the most important tips that we have on today, wolf management. I believe wolves are the most abundant predators in the long dark, and there's a simple way that you can actually handle an attacking wolf. Once you get their attention kind of like this, drop a light source, a torch, a flare, and actually aim a weapon. So first thing you want to, if you don't have any crafted weapons, or even if you don't have a pistol or a bow, you just want to make sure to grab a stone when you first spawn in, and actually drop that torch and aim it at them. And this action would usually check their morale and scare them off. Also, this is an important lesson and an example why all of your senses is very important.